On the night of August 20, 1989, a lively party was underway aboard the Marchioness, a pleasure boat cruising the River Thames in London. The event was meant to be a joyous celebration, with around 130 friends and colleagues gathered to dance, socialize, and enjoy the sights of the city at night. As the boat sailed through the heart of London, past iconic landmarks like the Houses of Parliament and St. Paul's Cathedral, no one could have predicted the tragedy that was about to unfold. In the blink of an eye, the party turned into a nightmare that would claim 51 lives and leave a lasting scar on the city.
At 1:46 a.m., as the Marchioness passed beneath Southwark Bridge, it was struck by the bow bell, a much larger dredger weighing over 1,500 tons. The impact was devastating. The Marchioness was no match for the massive vessel. It was struck on its starboard side, capsized, and sank within 30 seconds. Passengers were thrown into the dark, cold waters of the Thames. The river, already difficult to navigate at night, became a chaotic scene as people struggled to stay afloat amidst debris and strong currents. Screams for help echoed through the night as rescue efforts began.
The collision sparked a frantic rescue operation. Nearby boats, including emergency services and passing vessels, rushed to the scene, pulling survivors from the water. Despite their efforts, many passengers were trapped inside the Marchioness as it sank, while others succumbed to the freezing water and exhaustion. In total, 51 people lost their lives that night, making it one of the worst peacetime disasters on the Thames. Survivors were left traumatized, haunted by the memory of those they couldn't save and the terrifying moments of the sinking.
The Marchioness disaster sent shockwaves across the United Kingdom. Families and friends of the victims were devastated, and the public mourned the tragic loss of life. Vigils and memorials were held to honor the dead, and the tragedy raised questions about safety on the Thames and the circumstances leading to the collision. The victims came from diverse backgrounds, but their shared fate brought communities together in grief. For Londoners, the disaster was a grim reminder of the dangers hidden beneath the surface of the city's iconic river.
In the aftermath, an investigation was launched to determine the cause of the disaster and prevent such tragedies in the future. The inquiry revealed a series of failures, including poor visibility, a lack of adequate safety measures, and insufficient training for those operating large vessels on the Thames. Criticism was also directed at the response times of rescue services and the absence of a formal inquiry immediately after the incident. Families of the victims fought for justice and answers, leading to years of legal battles and public campaigns.
One of the most controversial aspects of the disaster was the role of Captain Douglas Henderson, who was at the helm of the Bowbell during the collision. While he faced criticism for his actions, no criminal charges were brought against him, sparking outrage among the victims' families. The government eventually held an inquiry nearly a decade later, in 2000, led by Lord Justice Clark. The inquiry acknowledged systemic failures and made over 30 recommendations to improve safety on the Thames, including stricter regulations, better training, and improved emergency response procedures. Although the inquiry provided some closure, many felt justice had been delayed for too long.
The Marchioness disaster led to significant reforms in maritime safety. The tragedy prompted the introduction of improved lighting on the Thames, mandatory life jackets on passenger boats, and enhanced training for river pilots and crews. The lessons learned from the disaster have since made the Thames a safer waterway, ensuring that such a tragedy is less likely to occur again. The victims' families, despite their grief, found solace in knowing that their advocacy helped prevent future loss of life. The disaster also highlighted the importance of timely inquiries and transparency in investigating such incidents.
Each year, the victims of the Marchioness disaster are remembered through memorial services and gatherings along the Thames. In 1995, a memorial plaque was installed at Southwark Cathedral, bearing the names of those who lost their lives. The tragedy remains a somber chapter in London's history, a reminder of the lives lost and the enduring impact on their families and friends. For many, the Marchioness disaster symbolizes the need for vigilance, accountability, and compassion in the face of tragedy.
The Marchioness disaster was more than a maritime accident. It was a human tragedy that exposed flaws in safety and response systems. It stands as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of learning from the past to safeguard the future. For the people of London, the memory of that fateful night in 1989 lives on, not just as a story of loss, but as a testament to resilience and the enduring spirit of a community determined to honor its victims.